In the late 20th century, a silent war began, not with tanks or missiles, but with ideology, influence, and belief. A war that would quietly redraw the political and religious map of the Middle East. Two countries stood at the center of this storm. One claimed leadership through oil, wealth, and Sunni authority. The other would soon rise through revolution, resistance, and Shia identity. This unseen conflict did not start with armies. It started with a warning that was ignored and reforms that shook an entire nation from within. This story begins in the 1960s and 1970s. At that time, Iran was ruled by Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, a Shia monarch, while Saudi Arabia was ruled by King Faisal, a Sunni ruler. Surprisingly, relations between the two kings were very good. So good that one day, the Shah of Iran sent a message to King Faisal advising him to modernize Saudi Arabia. He said, "Why are you running your country with outdated ideas? Open cinemas, allow women to work, let them choose their own clothing, give them jobs, adopt liberal policies, carry out land reforms." But instead of accepting this advice, King Faisal warned the Shah. He replied, "Reza Pahlavi, act wisely. Your country is deeply religious. Your people love their faith. If you try to secularize them by force, you will face severe consequences." But Reza Pahlavi ignored this warning. He launched a massive reform program known as the White Revolution. Under the White Revolution, large feudal estates were taken from powerful landowners and redistributed to poor farmers at low prices. Education was made free and compulsory for every Iranian. Women were given the right to vote for the first time. They were allowed to work in government jobs and even become judges. Politically, the Shah aimed to weaken old feudal elites and create a new middle class loyal to his monarchy. But there was another side to this revolution. The Shah wanted a modern, secular Iran. Cinemas opened across the country. International entertainment festivals were held. Women were allowed to dress freely. If you look at Iran of the 1960s and 1970s, you would hardly recognize it today. However, these reforms angered two powerful groups. The first group was Islamist conservatives, who wanted Iran to remain a religious state. They were led by Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. The second group was communists and Marxists, who believed the Shah was corrupt and that oil wealth benefited elites rather than the poor. They were inspired by the Russian Revolution and believed Iran could experience a similar uprising. Adding fuel to the fire was the Shah's brutal treatment of political opponents. The Iranian intelligence agency Savak became infamous for arrests, torture, and assassinations. People would disappear, and later their bodies would be found. Forced modernization, growing inequality, and state repression fueled massive public anger. By 1975, global events encouraged revolutionary thinking. The United States had withdrawn from Vietnam. Revolution had succeeded in Cuba. Colonial rule had ended in Algeria. Iranian revolutionaries believed that if American-backed regimes could fall elsewhere, Iran could be next. One of the most influential revolutionary thinkers was Ali Shariati. He promoted what he called Red Shi'ism, a revolutionary and anti-imperialist version of Shia Islam. At the same time, a third major figure emerged, Imam Musa al-Sadr. He was young, highly educated, charismatic, and extremely popular. When he visited Lebanon, he witnessed the miserable condition of Shia communities there. Instead of returning, he stayed. He established welfare institutions, organized communities, and politically awakened the Shia population. His goal was political empowerment, to unite Shias across the Middle East. Large crowds gathered to hear him speak. He was protected by armed guards. Celebratory gunfire was common during his appearances. He often said, "My words are more powerful than bullets." Despite being religious, Musa al-Sadr was not a hardliner. He interacted with Christians, visited churches, and even ate food prepared by them, something uncommon among Lebanese Shias at the time. His vision was political unity, not strict theocracy. Meanwhile, Ayatollah Khomeini had been exiled since 1964. He lived quietly in Najaf, Iraq, in a modest clay house. He was over 70 years old, and few believed he would ever return to center stage. But regional events changed everything. Lebanon became home to millions of Palestinian refugees displaced after the creation of Israel. They lived in camps, holding on to keys of homes they believed they would one day return to. Over time, they began receiving guerrilla warfare training inside these camps. Southern Lebanon and Beirut turned into hubs for smuggled weapons, guerrilla training, and intelligence activity. This is where the Palestinian Liberation Organization was formed, led by Yasser Arafat. Israel frequently attacked Palestinian camps, killing thousands of civilians. Lebanon's population was divided into three major groups. Christians sought help from France. Sunnis looked toward Egypt and Saudi Arabia, but Shias had no powerful protector. Naturally, Lebanese Shias began turning towards Ayatollah Khomeini. This was a historic shift. Shia leaders traveled to Najaf and asked Khomeini to pressure the Shah to support Lebanese Shias against Israel. This pulled Khomeini from isolation into regional politics. Soon, even Sunni Palestinian leaders began contacting him. Then came 1977. Egyptian President Anwar Sadat shocked the Muslim world by traveling to Israel and starting peace talks, without consulting Palestinians or Arab nations. This decision shattered Palestinian trust. Later, Sadat was assassinated by one of his own soldiers. At the same time, Khomeini's son Mustafa died in Savak custody, allegedly due to torture. Yasser Arafat sent condolences and formally requested revolutionary support. Khomeini accepted. From that moment, Palestinian resistance and Khomeini became connected. Now, imagine the situation. Khomeini in exile, supported by Shias and Palestinians. Imam Musa al-Sadr empowering Shias socially and politically. Ali Shariati inspiring revolutionary ideology. All three were extremely popular, but their destinations were different. By 1978, a mysterious event occurred, so shocking that even after more than half a century, no one fully understands what really happened. But friends, this story is too long to finish in one video. The rest will continue in the next episode.